Alright, the Top of the Pines presented by Discraft. As you know, I probably played in that tournament, and this is basically going to be a recap slash like vlog because there are some videos in here that I took. 'Cause I didn't film everything. I just filmed like little parts of some holes. So this is going to be like a recap over everything and how I played. Um, yeah, let's get into it. I'll talk about all the discs I used, how I played. If I keep looking down, because I'm looking at these little notes from each of the holes that I played. And there'll be a video coming out probably tomorrow or the day after, recapping round 2. And then either in between these 2 rounds or after these 2 rounds, I'll talk about all the discs I got, because I got a lot of discs from this tournament. I got 3 from my player pack, and then I bought 3 other ones. So I got 6 discs total. Let's get into my recap of the round, and I hope you enjoy this because I'll probably be doing this a lot more because now we have a lot of tournaments coming up in Arizona. So, but yeah, let's get into the recap. All right, hole 1. I'll be putting like the whole description or the whole like picture from UDisc right here for each of the holes, so that way you can see what I was like playing and everything. So hole 1, um, it's kind of like a tunnel shot, except you got a nice wide hyzer route you can take with OB on both sides and behind the basket. It's mostly, as long as you get to the first gap, you should be fine for par. But I did not. I threw my rhythm, and I hit the first tree in the fairway. So not first available, but first tree in the fairway. I got through the first beginning gap, and there was the fairway gap. But I had, and then I had to throw my upshot from the patent pending. That got me to about 50 feet, and then I two putted for bogey because I can't make long putts this tournament. I don't know why. Um, hole 2, it's a long shot. It's a long demanding shot, but it's not a long hole. There's OB all along the right once you get into like the houses and everything. So I threw my chemtrail. I just threw it really low. I kind of early released it. Hit some bushes, knocked it out into the middle of the fairway, which was good. But my second shot got into the entrance of the double mando, so that did help. And then my approach got me to a tap in for par. It was a par 4. So after 2 holes, I am on over par. But then we start kind of picking it up. So hole 3, I had a perfect shot with a buzz, peered the gap, got me to about 15 feet, and made that for birdie. So now we're even. And then hole 4, I forehanded it with the Firebird, got me to 20 feet, which was, and then I made my putt for birdie, which makes me 1 under. And then hole 5, I threw a flex forehand with my turbulence because you had to get through a tiny little gap, and I ended up hitting it. This is annoying holding. And I ended up hitting the gap, but on my approach shot with the scope, I kind of just overthrew it, put too much power on it, and it knocked me OB. So then I made a putt from the edge of circle for bogey. Hole 6, I made the right gap, so it's a perfect tunnel shot. It's like a disc wide. You gotta like perfectly pure it straight, or you can take the other perfectly pured shot right, which I tried to. I hit it. I hit the gap. It just skipped me a little too much for a putt for birdie, so I had to approach in and make my putt for par. We're still 1 under par through 6 holes. Hole 7 was probably the best I played on a hole the whole tournament. I threw a flex forehand with the Firebird right here, like this angle, and it held it and then fought out of it. these Halo Firebirds are awesome. Like this is one of my workhorses for distance drivers or just like flexi shots. And it literally landed at the base of the basket. So made that for birdie because it was like I could literally pick the disc up and just drop it in the basket. So we're 2 under through 7 holes. Here's where I start to like fall apart a little bit. Hole 8, I hit first available, kicking me off the fairway, and then my second shot with the taco hit another tree 100 feet in front of me, and it was a par 3. And then I threw the berg, which was perfect, made the gap perfectly, landed right by the basket, putted it in for bogey. So we're 1 under. And then hole 9 is a massive dogleg right hole. So you gotta throw it straight and then throw it right. Um, if you have like a big power forehand, you could probably get around the Mando, but I don't. So I had to throw my Sapphire on a straight shot to get through the triple Mando right in front of me, and then I had another straight shot with the Buzz, and then I approached it and putted it for par, so we're still 1 under par through the front 9. So out of the front 9, I birdied 3 in a row. I birdied 3 and 4. Oh no, I only birdied 3 and 4, so I was even through 9. No, I birdied 3, 4, and 7. So I birdied 3 holes, and then I bogeyed 1 and 8. So we're 1 under par through 9 holes. Um, you'll see in the next video I do better on the front 9, but I feel like it was kind of like cloudy, maybe a little sprinkly sometimes. So not the best weather. So I feel like I played pretty well on the front 9. Alright, on to the back 9. So hole 10 is a wide hyzer you can take, but there is OB like 10 feet behind the basket. So if you go long, you're putting for par, which is not horrible, but it's definitely a hole you want to birdie, which I don't. I end up bogeying it because I hit a tree 250 feet in front of me, and then second shot, I hit another tree, and then I double putted for bogey. So we're back to even through 10 holes. Hole 11, hit first available again. And then I had a good upshot to save par. That's the hole I almost aced with the Buzz on a practice round. I didn't film that because I really wanted to actually get a good practice in, because I only played that course one time and it was a year ago. Um, and then hole 12, I had a super low shot with the Buzz, but this is probably one of my favorite shots in the whole course. It landed like 100 feet in front of me. It was like a 250-foot hole, and everyone on my card said that my disc grew legs and walked up the fairway under the basket, which is basically what happened. It hit the ground, and when it hits the ground and then skips up and just glides on the surface of the ground all the way up. That's basically what this did. Um, it was a really funny shot. So I got that for birdie, so we're back to under par. And then here's where I kind of fall apart. So hole 13, I had a great drive, probably one of the best ones on that hole the whole day for MA3, which is what I played for. But then I didn't really have a line because it was a good shot, but the approach area you really never have a line for. You have to sneak your way through. So I hit off the first tree in front of me, kicking me OB. It's a par 4, like a 360-foot par 4. And then I hit first available, and then I hit it again, and then I putted, and then I putted for a triple. I think I putted. I might have made my first putt. But anyway, it was a triple bogey. So now I'm 2 over. I was 1 under a hole ago, and now I'm 2 over. I was in first place, with that one under for 12 holes because I was, I think, the fifth card to go out of 8. And at that point, I was in first place through 12 holes. And then I tripled. Then the hole right after, I made my Mando, but then hit a tree, skipped me away, hit another tree, and then double putted for bogey. So now I'm 3 over par, not even in the top 10. I don't even know what happened there. And then hole 15, I had a flex forehand with the Firebird. This is a hole you must birdie every single round, no matter what your score is. I end up burning it, which gives me 1 over, I believe. No, 2 over through 15 holes. And then hole 16. This is just how far can you throw it while still being in the fairway. And I hit the tree on the right barely, just enough to where it knocks me down. I threw this, the Cataclysm, brand new. It's a little muddy now and dirty, but it's a good disc. So that's probably one of my workhorses also with the Firebird. And then I had an excellent shot to get the double Mando, and then an upshot to 10 feet for par. So we're still 2 over through 15, or through 16. Yeah, 2 over through 16. And then 17 is a massive forehand, because there's a Mando right in the basket, so you can't take the big backhand route. But it's just how much can you get on a forehand without it just like falling out of the sky. So I threw a forehand with the Firebird to get a little skip and roll on it. Then I threw an upshot to get to 40 feet, and then I don't really know what happened with my putting for those 2 holes. It was just horrible. I could not make anything unless I was under the basket. So I double putted that for bogey. So now I'm 3 over in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Matter of 5 holes, I went from 1 under to 3 over. And then hole 18, this is a really easy par 5. On the actual course, like on the tee box sign, it says a par 4, but we played it as a par 5 for the tournament. It was eagled like 4 or 5 times, which is wild, but you basically just have to throw back-to-back 300 plus foot drives uh, to get, because the fairway is super wide, unless you absolutely throw a horrible roller or your hyzer goes 500 feet to the left, you're in the fairway. So, and then I had an approach shot, which brought me onto the first tier, which this is what it looks like. So you know what I'm talking about when I'm saying tiers. Um, and then I putt from 20 feet on uphill, basically it was, for birdie. So I finished 2 over, which was 893 rated. It felt a lot worse. But that 2 over put me on chase card. So in tomorrow's video, I'll be on chase card for what'll hopefully get me to podium. Shout out to the Chain Reaction crew. They have a YouTube channel that they post stuff like up in Sholo in that area, showing off some of the courses around there. They run my card. It's awesome because they were really funny. The tournament treated us really well. They had a bunch of stuff set up for us, a bunch of baskets in the shade for us when it was raining or sunny out. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Tune in to the next video where I talk about all of the, it'll either be all the discs I got from this, or it'll probably be the round 2. It'll be round 2 of Top of the Pines on Chase Card, where I try my best to get podium in my first like legitimate tournament that I played, because I played the NADGT one in Miami, Arizona, not Miami, Florida, Miami, Arizona, and it was just how many putts can you make from 100 feet. That's basically what it was. That's what every hole is. It's a fun course, but not fun for a tournament. Um, yeah, that's really it. Tune into the next one, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Please help I do better next tournament. Peace.